Okay guys, so I am a member of my group. Today we will talk about the impact of culture shock on the teenagers nowadays. Before that, you need to know what is a culture.
Culture is a way of life that develops and is generally taught and passed from old generation to future generation. Culture is a complex thing that includes several things such as belief, art, law, morality, custom, and abilities that can be accurate by human as a part of community group. This culture is decisive as it is, which means that it can create difference that have made each group of society and differentiate it from other group of society.
You also need to know what is culture shock. Okay, let me tell you. Culture shock is an experience a person might have when one moves to different cultural and environment from one to another. Okay, culture shock is also a personal disorientation to a person may feel when experiencing an unfamiliar way of life due to immigration or visit to a new country, or move between social environment, or simply transition to other type of life. As an example, in our home, we usually not eat with spoon and fork. But when we go outside or somewhere fancy, we need to use spoon and fork like the others do. We also need a tool maybe. That is what I call environment change. Yeah. Actually, in Malaysia, we have many different races, especially in Sarawak. The difference between Borneo and Semenanjung Malaysia, different in races, different in language, different in culture, and many others. If we already have a different in Malaysia itself, so how about the different outside the Malaysia? For the first issue, which has always become a problem, is a social problem stem from the culture shock among teenagers. This is a big matter, which will scratch the dignity of the teenager itself and also him or his family. This problem usually comes from the curiosity of the teenager to try a new thing. Mostly happen to teenagers nowadays who go abroad to continue study. Teenagers are likely to choose a wrong friends, and then they got involved in a bad activities. This may out of topic, but still, university is often associated with the world of romance, which is a place to find a partner. What is our purpose to the university? To study. But when they experience a relationship and then the relationship didn't get really well and fail, then the other bad friend persuade persuade him or her try alcohol, to try drug, just to relieve themselves.
My point is communication effectiveness. First of all, every teenagers know that communication is an important way to achieve peaceful relations in different your circle, inside and outside a particular society. For example, at school and at home, communication improves effective coexistence between adolescents. Adolescents will be isolated during class discussion between fellow students and teachers due to the process of teaching and learning in the classroom. It's like as well as the inability to use means of communication in the current culture. Other than that, according to Liliweri, communication is an interpersonal interaction and is carried out by several people with different culture background. In the process of communication between the two sides, it will surely experience an culture shock that is different from our original culture. Next, culture will be follow suit with multi-racial and religious societies. For example, when teenagers go to university, they will be susceptible to culture shock because of university. They will meet individuals of different personality and different lifestyle, so it can be effect to their personality and they will get a culture shock. Thank you.
Today I would like to discuss about the effect of culture shock brings a person alone and away from others. First of all, every human being must feel that he is not normal when he is in another person's place, state or country. For example, a person feels like a stranger when in another place, state or country. Next, a different place and atmosphere will also cause a person to feel that their daily life is not as normal as before. This difference in lifestyle and place is based on current issues as well, because it is also very important in influencing someone to change themselves. In this modern age, there are many things that affect person's lifestyle. Among them are the convenience of technology. The development in each country is advancing and growing, as well as the different cultural life that makes a person feel like a foreigner. In technology at this time, it greatly affects a person's lifestyle with the existence of the internet that will help someone in a study or task that they want to carry out, because in the internet there are many reference sources that can be used as factual information. Stark contrast between the countryside and the city cause one to change themselves instantly and suddenly. Cultural differences are also the most popular and most affect a person in changing one's lifestyle or giving a culture shock to a person. Next, the different speaking style. The different speaking styles of each language can also make a person feel lonely and distant from others. For example, communities in every place have different dialects, making it difficult for someone to understand and communicate, like an individual from the state of Kelantan who moved to the state of Sarawak. The last one, the customs performed by each place will also provide a cultural shock. Through customary statement, a place may have certain ceremonies that are considered important activities for them, according to the way of their society. This will also cause a person to be tickled, to have a negative attitude, that is, to be alone and stay away from other people. Thank you.
Based on the issue and discussion that have been made based on the impact of culture shock on the youth, theories can be applied about culture is and complex which include knowledge, belief, art, law, moral, custom, and other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. By Taylor, 1958. Okay. All humans group have a culture, but it often varies considerably from one group to the next. Culture is taught and learned through social interaction. There are many other cultures around the world. As a few examples, in Sarawak, there are races that make it have a different culture, such as Melayu, Kerasan Dusun, Cina, Iban, Kedayan, and much more. The example only mention a few pieces of culture, but actually, there are so many cultures around the world. Culture shock can happen if people go to a place that has a different culture than their own. Culture shock can also be experienced with a person's own society. Students from other countries, for example, who study in Sarawak, require time to adjust to the culture. This is because the language and culture in Sarawak are different from those in Peninsular Malaysia, not to mention if the student is from abroad. Culture shock often happen to teenagers, especially introvert teenagers. Depending on where they live, they will experience environmental change, such as changes in education, friends, and culture.
I will discuss about the suggestion we give to solve impact of a culture shock on teenagers nowadays. For the first one, country of distinction. They must trying to get a lot of information for any option. For example, information from the internet. They should not think that what the information on the herd is true, because not everything is true from the internet side. For the second one, they must recognize the location if they want to know more detail about anything, because this is important. If they want to know or explore a new place, of course, they need to diligently ask a question that they don't know. This is for to prevent them from feeling awkward in the culture shock situation. For the third one, when the teenager facing the new culture, the self-confidence will help them to overcome the problem of anxiety in a new environment. This believer can change so that they are more confident. This self-confidence can clearly overcome the problem of a culture shock. And the next is adjusting to a new culture. The teenager must adjusting to a new culture if they want to avoid from a culture shock. This is because they already prepare themselves to facing anything that will come. So this suggestion will help the teenager especially. And for the last one is a social assistant. Social assistant also can support the teenager to overcome the impact of a culture shock to them. When they get the advice from any side, like a family or friend, they will learn something new from them to this. As a result, this suggestion can reduce the feeling of anxiety and depression when they facing the culture shock. So that's all for me for the part of a suggestion. Thank you.
As a result, the conclusion we found from the essay on culture shock among the teenagers state that this mostly happen to teenagers. This is said so because adolescence is a pace to get to know something new. According to some experts, the age range of teenagers is between 10 and 21. The teenager phase is said to be the phase where the transition from the child phase to the adult phase. The characteristics that can be seen from various perspectives are that there are many changes both physically and physiologically. Physical change can be seen in terms of sexual characteristics such as breast enlargement in women and growing butt and deeper voice change in men. The maturity of sexual function that occur as a whole, especially in early adolescence. There are three issues of social problem raised that stem from this system, including communication defect, teenager favorite culture, and culture shock causing teenagers to like to be alone. This can be proven by statistics of teenagers now encourage them to be more interested in the culture of other country than the culture of their own country. This is said because the thinking of teenagers state that foreign culture is more powerful and beautiful than their own culture of the country itself. Based on the issue and discussion that have been made based on the impact of culture shock on the young, theory that can be applied about culture is complex that include knowledge, belief, art, law, morality, custom, as well as ability and habits other obtained by human being as member of society. It is natural for us to bend among teenagers. Therefore, there are many suggestions that have been made to curb this matter, including social assistance, adapting to a new culture, self-confidence, knowing the location and destination country. With this proposal, we hope that the culture shock among teenagers can be overcome. Because of what has been said, the authorities also need to be responsible in effort to curb this problem, because teenagers are important asset for the country. A country that has teenagers who are mentally fit is developed country. That's all what I can say. There are many things that we can
can make to curb this issue among teenagers. That's all. Thank you for listening.